Hello everyone! When Shadowlands launched, I had this whole schedule set on when I wanted to cover all the little things. But that kind of flew out the window. Before I knew it, we were in 2021. Now I finally found a bit of spare time, so I figured why not? It might be a bit late, but for the sake of completion, let's talk about the side quest, starting today with Maldraxxus.
The air was once rich with anima, like it was dust.
At the House of Plagues, we get a quick introduction to the wonderful work that they're doing. Though, as we found out during questing, the physical House of Plagues is lost. The knowledge contained within was not. There are survivors here that continue to research and develop new, horrifying weapons. In time, they will restore the house and rise to even greater power, unleashing creations and plagues never before seen upon all of their enemies. We get to help with that, filling up a small batch with different materials collected from oozes nearby. Graduating from that gives us access to the bigger mixing pool. Here, you can drop in materials gathered from the red vicious oil, the blue mephitic goo, or the yellow miscible ooze. The combination that you make, it will decide what kind of creature will emerge from the pool. And the rare itself also has different loot that it drops. You can get like a neck, or a trinket, or a cloak, or a pet. Now the one that most will be after is the violet mistake, which has a chance to drop the slime-covered reins of the hulking death rock. Apparently, the fastest way to make that one spawn is to add 15 of the blue mephitic goo and 15 of the red vicious oil. Then, if we gaze at the center of Maldraxxus, there is the Theater of Pain. You might have gone through the dungeon already, but outside in the open world, that's where the action happens. On the side of it, at the Wrangler Pit, we run into Dundee, the Tarless Wrangler, and Khaleesi, mother of Bone Tooth.
You are my queen.
The Bone Tooths are the backbone of Maldraxxus' armed forces. Those that have been trained well are in demand amongst all of the houses, and they always need more of them to train. So we bring back some of the younger ones, while hooking up Dundee with some of those Tarless. He's been finding a lot of Tarless corpses lately, and he knows it's all because of those bone tooths Khaleesi loves oh so much. We need to get rid of the one responsible for the slaughter, without letting his queen know about it. Then on the inside, the arena itself. It's where challengers of all houses come together to test their mettle, prove their might, earn their glory in glorious combats. Not just anyone can walk in and fight. We're gonna need a manager. Lucky for us, there's Louison willing to show us the ropes. Starting us off with a bit of grunt work, collect weapons of the fallen, douse challengers with a flask of team spirit, slay some of the blood tusk, but soon enough they see the truth. They see that we've been around the ring once or twice before. The other challengers are nothing to sneeze at. Gun Gorgebone takes us to the gun show, while Rencissa, the Dynamo, wants the biggest rock that we can find. Scrapper Manoir doesn't really want anything from us at first, but soon enough, they got a little job to do. With the fall of the House of Plagues, her connections to arena performance bolsters, they've gone up in smoke. The brokers do have those kind of potions for sale, but they don't like her face. So perhaps we could pick one up for her. Scrapper's use of enhancers. It creates unpredictable betting implications, which is quite unhealthy for their profits. The broker, Larinar, they can provide us with a special enhancer that Minar will not be able to resist. A potion that turns the one who imbibes it into the ultimate combatant and teaches them a lesson in restraint as well. Minoir will no longer clutter up the fighting pit with their juicing habits. Now it's the brokers here that make for the most interesting lore bits in my opinion. Right from the beginning, people noticed how there were Naru or demons in the Shadowlands, even though it was said that those beings, they don't go to this domain. For example, demons, they're supposed to go to the Twisting Nether. So what's up here? How come they're in the Shadowlands? Well, we can thank our brokers for that. As we get to experience ourselves, these brokers, they have technology which allows them to travel to different worlds and just pick up, or I should say kidnap, pretty much anything that the arena needs to provide a good challenge, provide some amazing betting opportunities to make those profits. We even get to bet on ourselves for a healthy chunk of anima. Best to make sure that we actually win, while taking on creatures like Zantoof the Blighted, Unbreakable Earths, Asmogal, T-Or, Mr. Directs, or the Janissar Def Morta. It's also a good chance for the brokers to see how we fight. Now speaking of those brokers of Maldraxxus, there's another interesting question to be found, which might be related to...
Do not let Zoval reach the Sepulcher.
That's part of the warning left behind by the Primus, and while the location of this sepulcher is not explained, there is one to be found right here in Maldraxxus, the Sepulcher of Knowledge. After the Primus disappeared, this sepulcher was magically sealed. It's there where we run into the broker Ta Erran. They're worried that the knowledge stored within it will be lost to the Devourers, ravenous creatures who feed on the energies they find. With our help, they could enter and salvage key military knowledge before it's lost forever. Getting into it is not that simple though. The Primus has placed guardians in the area around the sepulcher to protect the knowledge within. Each of them embodies the virtues of one of the 5 houses. And by using the correct emotes at the runestone connected to each house, we take on the echo of the hero, the spy, the chemist, the mages, and the crafter. And while doing that, we also make sure to take out a fair chunk of the Devourers. Now these guardians, they're not the only protection. There's also an elaborate magical lock created to seal the door. To open up this pathway, the 2 obelisks which control the lock must be fed with anima. A minigame to guide the anima from the empowered crystals all the way to the obelisks in order to open the door. Within this treasure of knowledge, we soon discover that even inside, the battle is far from over. While dodging traps and magical assaults, we gather as many tomes as we can. The one on how not to lose will be especially useful. With the path cleared, our broker friends, they feel comfortable enough to join us on the final leg of the journey into the secret archives. The place where they keep the rarest volumes, all the way at the top of the tower, protected by an entity called the Archivist. Their last words are a clue on how to find their greatest treasure, the Volume of Victory. Victory only belongs those brave enough to fall. On a hunch, we take that quite literally, and we jump out of the window. Luckily, we were doing the right thing. Ended up just where we needed to be. The entire collection is picked up for Ta Erran, a most profitable venture indeed. This being the sepulcher the Primus warned us about, or not. Either way, we still handed over some valuable information to the broker. All that for a bit of coin, for the next quest completed. But when you step back and you look at all the things that the brokers are gathering, there are volumes on victory, there's knowledge on how we fight, Venari with her Stygia and artifacts from the Maw, Artificers and Mux is fitted up pockets with artifacts from Nafria. All of that combined, the little examples that we see. I'm just saying, if the brokers ever turn hostile, we might be in for quite a fight. Time will tell, I suppose. For now, you're up to speed on the story of the side quest in Maldraxxus that earn you the achievement. So for now, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Subscribe if you like my videos. Leave a like if you enjoyed this one. And until next time, see ya!